Hello everyone, Bogdan here. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about just this question that kept popping up all the time, comments, people's requests, discussions here and there, the mastermind groups, the advisories, the everything. And people said, I really want to become an entrepreneur. It's about time I become an entrepreneur. I mean, everybody talks about becoming an entrepreneur. And I was like, okay, great, God, become an entrepreneur. That sounds good. Sounds good, right? But why do you want to become an entrepreneur? And I want you to answer this one question based off of one very important thing. If you're an employee right now, or you have been an employee, but you have suffered because of what happened with coronavirus and lockdown and layoffs and job problems and all of that, financial incentives from the government, we're not going to get into details about that. You guys know what I'm talking about. If your perception is like this, man, I really hate my job. Man, I really hate my manager. I really hate my boss. They're entrepreneurs. The question is, do you want to become somebody that you hate? Or do you want to become somebody that you love? You see, oftentimes people will say, I'm going to do it differently. I'm going to become a boss myself. I'm going to have my own business. It's going to be successful. It's going to be glorious. I'm going to have my own employees and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And I'm never going to repeat those mistakes again. That's good. That's good. Sounds good, right? Sounds decent. It's a good goal. Is it attainable though? How do you know that going through the process, you will not turn out similar, if not worse, than those people? How much experience do you have as an entrepreneur? How much experience do you have in B2B section, business to business? How much experience do you have in the skills of copywriting, consulting, closing, public speaking, marketing, and so many others that are high income and very much in demand? What about digital skills? What about programming? What about e-commerce? There's a wide spectrum. Do you have the right team ready? Do you have the right team ready? Do you have your lawyers, your accountants, your consultants, your advisors, your bankers? Do you have your team ready? Do you have, let's say you're a law firm. Do you have your lawyers? Do you have clients? Do they have clients? They're ready to come on board with you? Say you're a civil engineering company. Do you have the engineers? Do you have the architects? Do you have the drawers? Do you have the 3D graphic designers? Do you have uh, the team that comes together to build that environment? Or are you just starting off doing everything on your own and hoping that one day, if this thing is not going to be taken away, as we saw, you're going to be like, "Oh, I'm good, and now I'm a successful entrepreneur." Whoa! Here's the thing: you want to become a successful entrepreneur? No problem. Success, in the words of a great person, success is a byproduct of value created. How much value did you create when you were an employee? How much? Do you know? Do you know how much value you were providing to your customers? You were creating for your company, for the other people around you, for your managers, your leaders, your C-level executives, for the board, for how much? How much? Put a number to it. I don't know, 20,000 per month, 100,000 per month. How much? A million, 5 million? How much were you making? How much value were you putting out there into the marketplace? And how much were you getting paid in return? Let's say you were paid a fixed salary, right? Let's say you were paid $10,000 per month and you were providing, I don't know, you were making 500,000 for the company. Great, that's great, but you were paid quite a small amount, right? Not nearly anywhere close to like a 10% or, right? Maybe your domain works, right? Maybe in real estate, because in real estate, you're not going to get paid 10%. Right? You're not going to sell something for 30 million and get $3 million commission. But what I'm talking about is how much value were you providing to the marketplace? Were you always, hey, if I stay 2 extra hours, I'm going to bill 2 extra hours, right? If my boss needs me to put in work in the weekend, I'm going to ask that I get extra pay, right? Or I'm going to get extra days of vacation. Was that the mentality? Because if that's the mentality and you want to start becoming an entrepreneur, I'm going to say this is going to be a really tough time because it's not a 9 to 5. It's not a 5 days a week. You will fall into one of three categories. You will either be a part-timer, a full-timer, or an all-the-timer. And all-the-timer are people that go all in. All-the-timers are people that go and they do whatever it takes in order for them to see things through. So if you want to do this as a part-time, I don't know. You want to do this full-time? Again, full disclosure. And even if you do it as an all-the-time, it doesn't mean that you're going to succeed. But here's the thing. You can always work on your business and you can always employ the entrepreneurship mindset even if you are an employee. It's very simple. Simply position yourself and your mind and your state of mind into that of a entrepreneur. And make sure that you take decisions and you do the right actions based off of that mindset, based off of that position. That should be your frame and your starting point. So you don't need to become an entrepreneur by fully committing to building a business and starting everything from scratch and I'm fed up with my boss and I hate my team, and I hate my job and commuting and all of this. But rather do it as you are still working within your current job, within your current environment. And then grow that skill, the entrepreneurship skill and the entrepreneurship mindset with it, so that you are building your team, the people that you trust, the people that you want. I want him in this position. I would like him. You talk to people outside of the company, people, not necessarily friends, but people that can become friends and do business with them. And once you understand that you don't need to quit your job and then put all of your savings into this one thing and hope that pray to God it's going to work because you just want to become an entrepreneur because you're fed up with being an employee. It starts here. Make the mind shift first and then let your actions speak for themselves moving forward. So maybe you already went in and you started doing this and you're still seeing some friction, you're seeing some resistance. What's the mindset like? Address the mindset and things are going to improve. As things start to improve, you will then be able to not just want to do this, but need to do this. You're like, that's a need. The marketplace needs me, needs my skill, needs my knowledge, needs my experience, my evaluated knowledge and experience, which is fundamentally different than just knowledge and experience. And you see it as a need for the marketplace because, again, as I said, your what is your value? How much value are you providing to the marketplace? If you're not providing any value as an employee, what value will you do when you want to kick it up a notch to an entrepreneur? Plus all the problems, plus all the responsibilities on you, plus all the people coming to you with their problems, plus all of the costs, plus like so much. I'm not saying not do it. I'm not saying you're not ready. I'm saying is starts here and it always ends here because you'll have a lot of tough things to go through. And I'm going through a lot of tough things. And doing a video like this actually keeps me on track because it's a good reminder for me as well. I watch it, be like, because I make stuff that I want to watch. And sometimes they're there. And I listen to other people's opinions. But I always listen to those people's opinions who I want to become as. So if this was inspirational in any way, if this was a step in the right direction, give it a thumbs up and leave me a comment and share with me how this has helped you. Or if you came across this any other place, tell me if this was a good reminder for you. I'm not here to teach you anything new, but boy, am I here to give you some strong reminders because I know many of you know these things. And the one thing that I needed at a certain point in my life was somebody good enough and confident enough to remind me these things without shoving them down my throat. And that, my friends, is something that I appreciate a lot and is what I look into when searching for other videos and content online. I'll see you in the next one.